be honest with you. Because I think we need to come back home. That is really my default position. We need to come back home because we have tried and they are treating us like they have othered us. We are others.
Them and others.
Them, us, there is them, there.
And then the rest
exactly.
of us.
we are like, we are, what is the, we are squatters.
No, but now we have a new terminology, Alan.
We are squatters in this entity that pretends to serve our interests.
We have new terminology now, Alan. Global North, Global South, Global Rest.
Professor, please, please allow him finish.
My argument is this. We have an opportunity to unite East Africa, to unite Africa, to correct our ills, to address our contradictions, to make sure that all these barriers, non-tariff barriers, all the issues that exist, the hurdles that get in the way of a much more unified, integrated Africa are addressed. Let's focus on what is important. It is like you've left your home to go and find solace somewhere else. And for as long as you do that, you will not be prioritized. We have no voice in this space, and for as long as that is the case, we are not going to be treated as, we are going to be worse than stepchildren, because at least some stepchildren are treated well. So in my humble view, and I also need to add that this does not reflect the position of the government.
Very good disclaimer.
In my humble view, we need to come back home and to recognize that our opportunities exist in Africa and amongst people who treat us with some respect. And of course, South Africa will self-correct because there is also an issue there.
Thank you.
But Timothy, just a minute. I think people should not come across or the panel here to think that we are painting a very gloomy picture. You know, there are very good positive things that are coming from the continent. And I just wanted to point out too, Alan might be the music, and these record companies, Western record companies, big ones, in fact, many of them are setting up shop in Africa.
But we have to be careful. Where is Africa's agency?
Okay.
No, I agree. This is the point. See, African agency.
And Alan,
African
we're
agency.
going to give you your own show after midnight.
We will continue being
But let us
in a
do a
plantation.
parting shot.
Yes.
The plantation has shifted and taken a new shape.
No, but African agency is not going to be given to you. You have to exercise it.
Professor and Alan, let's leave.
I'm a pianist from South Africa, and at least you know that.
So I have a message here from Captain Francis Babu. He says, good evening. Thank you for the excellent panel. His Excellency the President knows how to escalate issues. Therefore, this is another plus for the country cementing unity. Ambassador Laro Tunu is a gem, the permanent representative on the UN. I will support him. Provisional polls are leaning towards Ambassador Olaro Tunu. He's also another Kofi Annan. The debate on the EU and Francophone and Anglophone, which is divisional, will not apply. Professor Kasujja is in the classroom and is teaching law. He's forgetting the practical bits of it. We're listening, but he needs to get to the practical bits of it. But we cannot get to a seat on the Security Council. Let us all get the Secretary General first, then we start worrying about the seat. He continues and says, the Honorable Mbide, tell them that the ambassador is going to become the Secretary General in December. We must convene the 5 in the Security Council. Okay, thank you very much. Talks about other things there. Thank you for the show. I'm Bosco from Mbuya. May the Almighty give him all the success that he needs. And thank you for the show. Thank you, Bosco, for watching. Charles Tueheyo, Makerere University Department of Political Science. On reforms of the UN, if the reforms were to take place, who would lead them? And how do African interests feature in these reforms? Imagine UN collapses. What role will Africa play in formation of another international body? To what extent is African states' original blocks developed efficiently without involving global systems in the UN? Okay. Finally, this is Justus Mohanji from Guinea. He says, when you look at the UN, I refer you to the book, Bottom Billions book, 4 Traps, Creating the Systems by Keeping Countries Poor. The condition in the UN political scene is to manage the inferior countries and give power to the superior. Does it address changing societies like AI, technology, evolution, the design of a global political system to manage perennial countries there? Okay. Parting shots, I'll start with Professor, Honorable Mbide, Professor Puli, Professor Balunywa, and finally Alan.
Yes, so thanks, Alan, and thanks, fellow panelists. It has been a good show. Just two things. One is there's a book we used to read in the past, Democracy as a Discussion. It's not just simply about winning. I know now we think that when you win, then they are losers. But what Sandra Myers was talking about, I mean, democracy being a discussion, is really civic engagement and everyone finding a place in that. And I think within the democratic dispensation, I think that's what we see illustrated by our head of state nominating Olaro Tunu in that. So they could have been on different spectrums of the politics, but he has created a scenario where those kinds of interests are nurtured and they flourish, other than one being vanquished against the other. But the most important thing also that I need to remember is, you know, when China started moving into the African continent, we used to hear statements like, oh, China is better because China does trade, the West gives aid. And then I remembered what we used to be taught in class with Philip, whereby I think when we were studying political economy, we were always being reminded that Africa will not develop by choosing different masters or a better master. Africa will have to aspire for self-determination. If you're a slave, you don't break free by saying this master is better, at least let me serve this other one. You don't choose masters. This aim of the slave should be to be free from servitude. So right now, as people on this continent, our issue should not be, oh yeah, the West brought aid, then the Chinese are better, then tomorrow we shall have the Indians and the rest. The key thing is, what does Africa want? Sure. What are our interests? When we assert these interests, then we should be able to pay the price to fight for them. Otherwise, we shall continue rolling these things, AU, Africa, Continental Free Trade Area, and all these things. There are so many wonderful things we have put in place, but they are not flourishing because I think we pursue a lot of short-term gain. If those are giving us conditionality with aid, and the Chinese are ready to give us money for free, so we all go sing in China, then tomorrow we shall sing another master. But as Alan says, we need to come back home, be ourselves, assert ourselves, count the price of what that means, and then move. Until we count the price or the cost of our freedom and are ready to pay for it, we shall continue having these panels and discussions and all the other kinds of things.
Thank you very much.